The LabCo has become a bit of a category of one, because the idea is that the LabCo is just another contributor to the project. It just so happens that we often refer to the LabCo as the developer company that's owned by the leads, who are basically the brain and the vision behind the project. But there is a fair number of projects that have a number of contributing lab companies dotted around the world, which is kind of the original vision of how you wanted to build a decentralized project. You have your foundation and your community of token holders, and then you have contributors. Maker did a great job and still has sort of these working units. I think they have a special name for it, all dotted around the world, that contribute to what is now the Sky protocol. And so in essence, the LabCo is a fairly standard company set up in, could be a high-tax jurisdiction. It doesn't really matter. We get to that in a second. That is controlled by the leads, and where you're going to see the day-to-day stuff being done from. Because you need an entity, Anton, when you build a project. You can't escape that you still need a little debit card and a bank account, preferably in US dollar, to pay for your Google Suite, to pay for your domain name, to pay for subscriptions left and right. And so where do you do that from? You do that from some Cayman or Panama foundation? Very difficult. You want an operational unit that also pays for the GitHub, if there's private repositories, that pays for Cursor or Claude. You see where I'm getting at, right? A day-to-day entity where stuff gets done from. That is the essence of the LabCo. Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk a little bit about where that should be based. The big variable there is, are they going to be outside investors? In other words, VC-type investors who want equity in that LabCo? Or are we just setting up, a code, DevCo, we would then probably call a development company, where we're pushing the code from with either employees or contractors, or maybe a mix of those, okay? So let's say I'm based in the United States, I make myself an employee of my own DevCo, I pay a couple of contractors, maybe a second employee, but that's still very much controlled by the devs. The whole equation kind of changes when VC money comes in, because VC, the nature of the beast is that they want to see value crystallize. And so they will also have certain demands about where is value then actually crystallizing. Yes, they will also hold tokens, but they prefer real value to be built in the C Corp. And that, well, I say C Corp, then it's typically going to be a C Corp where those investors can see at some point an exit, or at least a monetization of their investment. Okay, so that's really crucial. When people come to us and they say, "Oh, I need a LabCo," our second question is probably, "Okay, are you going to take VC type money?" Because that's going to determine a lot.